Joe, welcome to Running Football Club. You've been in position as CEO now probably for around 2 weeks or so. How have your first few days and weeks been?
It's been an eye-opener for sure. You can never quite predict how it's going to go and what the job role kind of entails. Is all the planning in place that we started near enough a year ago and things that we wanted to kind of implement straight away, but until you kind of get in the building, get through the door and start looking at things, specifically and deep down, it's not until you get kind of open your eyes a little bit more and see what's going on. But I've loved it. It's been great. It's great learning. I've got a great mentor in Rob, who's kind of been on the phone to me whenever I want throughout the day, whether it's 2-3 in the morning his time, he's still available. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it and can't wait to just carry this on now.
You mentioned Rob there. Obviously it's been a long time coming for you, Rob and Todd. You must be delighted to be able to finally get your teeth stuck into the project.
Yeah, like I said, this has been going on for a number of months now, and for Rob a little bit longer as well. And when we came in last summer and we couldn't quite do what we wanted to do, we kind of set plans in place and had a look around, and there was things that we wanted to do back then that we couldn't, and that was the frustrating part. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. At times I didn't think it was ever going to happen, but then I'd speak to Rob and I know his grit, his determination and how desperate he was to get this over the line. So I always believed that it would come back around at some point. And I'm really thankful that he and Todd both got it done in the end and have kind of trusted me to come on board with them.
You have experience in this division as a player, winning the playoffs back in 2020, I believe, with Wycombe and making around 300 appearances at this level. How are those experiences going to help you within this new role?
Yeah, I think I can bring something a little bit different to a lot of people in my position within football clubs is the fact that I've played the game. I know players, I know agents, I know what fans want, a big fan myself, and I know what coaches want, and then now speaking to someone like Rob and had a lot of dealings with him when I was at Wycombe, and I used to spend a lot of time behind the scenes at the club when other players would have their days off. I'd spend time at the football club and maybe look at the operations and things like that, how it went on. So I believe I can bring that kind of football brain alongside everything else that's going on. And if the manager wants some help or advice, or not necessarily on tactics, I don't want to get involved in that, but just to kind of take the pressure off dealing with agents and things, which at the minute has been quite fun, quite interesting. I feel like that can kind of put me in good stead on that path.
Outside of football, obviously you've been doing a few different qualifications, a few different courses, you've been studying quite a lot. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's always been an interest of mine of finance and business, and so a few years ago I started studying a finance course to be go along that route when I finished playing, but I just didn't love it. I wanted something within football still, and I'm about to graduate from the PFA Business School on a course that they're doing now. So business and football for me is perfect. I never wanted to be a coach or a manager, but being behind the scenes, seeing how you can grow a football club, seeing how you can make a football club profitable and sustainable, and some of the key factors that Rob talks about intensely are the same kind of ethos that I have as well. So it's something, like I said, I've always wanted to get into, whether or not I thought I could be in a role like this so soon, but I feel that's the relationship I've had with Rob and the trust that I've had from him. So delighted. I just want to prove to him now that I can do the job properly.
You mentioned already it's been a busy few weeks and days for you, and there's a very bit busy summer ahead, obviously, with contracts and potential signings as well. What have your priorities and areas of focus been across the last few days?
Everything. First of all, on the pitch, there's about 25 contracts that we've handed out to players from the under-18s and 21s in the first team. So it's been trying to put together that jigsaw, trying to fit in players of what we need, where we need to go further down the line, the players that we have. If they don't sign, then where do we go next? So it's all about juggling that kind of jigsaw at the minute on that side of things. On the business side, more about how can we grow the business now? How can we, bring more revenue into the club? How can we fill the stadium every week? How can we make the experience for the fans, the best that there is in the country? And all these things, we're doing little things, we're putting little things in place. It's not going to be overnight, it's not going to be a quick success, but the more we can put good people in good positions and just grow the football club, I think that's the biggest thing now. That we don't want to talk too much about the past, and the club's in a position now to grow again, and we're really excited of the prospects that we've got in place.
Noel Hunt and his team obviously did a fantastic job last season under very difficult circumstances. How important is it that you two and the rest of his coaching staff have a very close working relationship?
Absolutely, yeah. And when we came in last summer, I spent a lot of time with Noel, with all the coaching staff, with Ruben, the old manager as well, and just trying to gauge, how they see football. I'm not someone that I'll ever go to Noel and say you should sign this player or that player. I've got a really open, honest relationship with Noel already, that whoever he wants to sign, he will sign, and I think that's how it should be. I think the manager should always have that kind of final say on things, and with someone like Brian Carey as well alongside him, who's fantastic, and I think brilliant for Noel as well. I think just to be that experienced head around him and can calm him down sometimes, because Noel, you've seen Noel on the touchline, he's energetic, he's great to have around the place, and if we can take a little bit of pressure off him by sorting out the contracts, dealing with the agents that he doesn't need to be doing, then I think that's where we can help him as well. But going forward, we've already started that we've got a really good relationship. A lot of the things that Noel says about football, and not just about the playing style, but about the culture, about the people that he wants to bring in, really align with what I'm about and where I've seen kind of success along my career. So it's very pleasing to hear that.
Reading Football Club has a rich history of producing superb academy talents, players like Michael Elise, who's just won the Bundesliga, who's been competing in the Champions League this year. How important will the academy be to the club's success moving forward?
So important. We've seen last season, where would the club be without the academy, without relying on a lot of those players that have come through. You look at someone like Andre Garcia, who's made an immediate impact into the first team. Being so young, no one would have expected him to have that career so far. But because the club has such a great academy, you've got Michael Jilks, who's done an amazing job there, and all the coaching staff, that they're able to produce players year after year that are good enough for the first team, and we want to continue that, not just to improve the first team as such on the pitch, but also create assets for the football club, because in League One you need to do that, and if we can produce more Michael Elises and other players that have come through the system and been sold on, I think that's a great model to have as a football club.
Of course, it's not just academy talents that make up the first team. I'm sure we'll be looking externally this summer as well at different players. Without revealing too much information, obviously, what's the type of player that you, Brian and Noel want to see wearing the blue and white hoops next season?
People who want to give everything for the football club. You don't want to sign players just because the financial package is there for them. You want players to walk through the door and immediately their eyes light up. You can see the excitement. You walk into Bearwood, and how can a player ever say no to this? It's such a fantastic facility. The club is huge. The club has got tremendous potential, and you want people who want to fight for the badge. You want people to work hard, to embed themselves into the culture of the football club. Noel's huge on building culture and building a great kind of team family ethic, and you want players to kind of join that. So first and foremost, that's what you need. How talented they are on the pitch will come second to that, because if you can get a good culture that bring the best out of everyone around them, I think that's so important to create a team.
Many fans will be keen to know what are yours and the club's ambitions, not just for the next season, but the next sort of 3, 4, 5 seasons as well.
Yeah, we want to be competitive at the top end of this division for starters, but we want to grow the club. We want to build the brand up. We want to feature far corners of the earth, and we want people to talk about Reading Football Club. You also want success on the pitch, which is really, really important as well. But we've seen what this club can do over the years, and in a recent history, being in the Premier League, we want to kind of get back to the town and the fans being really proud of the football club. And the fans have been incredibly good the last couple of seasons, especially with everything that's gone on off the pitch, and they've kind of united together to almost have this siege mentality to get the club where it did last season, especially, and we're reliant on them to go again and to be part of it, but we want to give them the support as well, that we're here for them. They've saved their football club, and now we want to kind of add to that. We don't want to take that away. We need the supporters still to help that, but I'm just really excited for what's to come, and there is no ceiling for this football club. You see the infrastructure already in place, and it's just an exciting time to be a Reading fan.
And finally, with season tickets now on sale, what would your message be to the fans who have already bought a ticket, or are considering purchasing one for next season?
First of all, thank you for your support. I know Rob sent a message out yesterday, and you know, I just say what he said is you guys have been incredible for this football team, and you know, I speak to Noel a lot about the fans, and I speak to some of the players as well about the fans at the SEL and the travelling fans as well. It's been so good for them to know that they've got them behind them, them backing them. You know, they fought so hard for this football club, and now we want them to fight again. We want to bring their energy, their noise, their excitement, their passion for the football club. All these things will just add up to the club being successful. So thank you very much. For the ones who haven't bought yet, I know you will do. I know you want to join be part of the journey going forward, and together we can be successful.
Thank you, Joe. Cheers.
Thanks.